Greetings, people of Earth. It is I, Brian Pulido, proud publisher of Coffin Comics, and with me today is one of my very special friends and amazing contributors to Coffin Comics, the one and only Monte Moore.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me down. It's a pleasure to be a continuing part of Coffin Comics as they expand and take over pretty much running the universe.
Well, having Monte part of the universal plan is the plan. And the reason we're here today, Monte, and the reason why you see all these cool question marks is this weekend we're doing the Monte Moore Artist Celebration at HQ.
Third edition.
This is actually the third time we've celebrated the monumental contributions of Monte Moore, and what makes this particular year so special is that all the imagery that we're presenting is brand new.
We've been busy.
We've been busy, and we've had this plan, gosh, for the last 8 or 9 months.
Oh yeah, you got to kind of plan that far ahead.
So folks, during this presentation, we're going to show you the work, but we're also going to give you a sneak peek at the Coffin Comics company store, which has been branded with the art of Monte Moore. So before we get into it, here are the facts. The Monte Moore Artist Celebration begins at 9 a.m. Friday, whatever date tomorrow is.
Tomorrow.
Today, tomorrow. It's open at 9.
I could consult my my phone says that today's the 23rd, so that's gonna be.
So let's do it the 24th. Right. So it'll be the 24th at 9 a.m. Arizona time for sworn club members, 10 a.m. Arizona time for the rest of the world. Also, here at HQ at 630 East University Drive, Mesa, Arizona 85203. We are having Monte Moore at HQ as a live event from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Monte will be here live.
I'll probably be asleep in this thing.
Be asleep in here. We're doing sketches, remarks. We'll be presenting stuff that is a great surprise, and maybe you'll see some of that. Anything you wanted to say to the folks just about that piece of it?
Just that, all the different, from Sworn Fest to events like this, they're unique, they're singular because nobody else does it. Like reaches out and says, hey, just come down, be a part of this, debut some new art, new products, and also, you just get more connected with the fans individually.
Yeah.
I had a fun one today. I sent a friend request, somebody I saw on Sworn Nation, and they sent a message and they said, hey, did you send me a friend request? I think you were hacked. I said no, I wasn't hacked. I really did send you a friend request, and they're like, wow, really? I'm like, yeah, if it's a name I don't know and somebody that I see that, hey, you love Lady Death, I draw Lady Death, like we should probably be friends.
I think that's probably why you and I are kindred spirits, because we are connected and we'll do that work. It's like we don't have like any assistants doing that stuff. It's like, hey man, I think we should connect.
Yeah, I do all my social media and I respond to all the comments and stuff. It's great to have those who help with fulfillment and marketing and all those other things, but when it comes to the drawing for fans and connecting with them, I think that should just be that same relationship, your friends, your fiends, your fans.
So on that note, you are cordially invited to come down to HQ, but also this event will be occurring live online. So we have a certain portion of our print runs offered live globally through our store, coffincomicsshop.com, and a portion live. The cool thing about the live here at HQ is there are a number of surprises, but I don't want to get ahead of myself, so without further ado, I'd like to show you some of the work, and maybe Monte, you could tell us a little bit about it.
Sure.
First up, the beautiful brand new image by Monte Moore. This is a mock-up of the Euphoria edition, presented with trade dress in limited holofoil and ultra limited metal. Monte, what went into this image? Because I know the original is outrageous.
Yeah, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this is probably one of my top 3 or more favorite all-time images of Lady Death that I have done. And the original was quite large. It's about 30 by 40 inches, which for a cover painting is huge. And one of the reasons why I did it so large is these pieces on the side here are actually laser cut in the studio. There's one over here that's actually the little coffin skull is right over there, and it was embedded. There's one with my logo. And so I asked Brian, hey, could we revisit almost a steampunk kind of a theme, but we didn't want to have the her accessories and her outfit be all the leather and the gadgets, kind of a little more almost like Playboy meets steampunk. And so we want it to be elegant. And so I don't even think I've done a cover that has maybe this color palette really with the golds and stuff. And it just, I don't know, it kind of came out striking. It has the other 3D elements glued into the original art. All these little rivets and things like that were added by hand to me. And then the original was then framed in a crazy beautiful steampunk style frame, just because I get into making these like wacky frames.
This is a great image and limited in nature. The main edition is limited to 150 copies at $25 a piece. The holofoil is limited, I believe, to 60 this time around, and at $80 a piece. And then the metal, I believe, is limited to 50, and they are at $110. This image is amazing. I saw it coming in, and I was knocked out and blown away. And I do love that.
That's not easy to do.
That's true.
Because Brian sees so much good art.
That's true. I'm very, I would say too, like I'm a very affable person and stuff like that, but like, man, I'm an exacting editor, man. I demand what, you know, like I want to create the environment for excellence, but you know, like.
Would you say, since you work with dozens and dozens of artists at a time, would you say you see very many covers come in anymore on canvas that are painted?
No, that's unique. Yeah, you have that ability to look at different media.
Right.
So I think that's wonderful. I mean, and that's utterly unique to you. And you're challenging yourself for approach. And when you and I work together, I keep that in mind. I'm like, oh, I could throw Monte a curveball and he'll respond, because it's not like you're up for the challenge.
Right. And one of the Hell Witch covers that you published last year, the year before, maybe it was during COVID, was on wood. It was wood burnt. I think that was probably our first ever wood burnt, and that was actually just the prelim. Yeah. Because then there was a painted version of it as well. Yeah. But I love the fact that there's all these different surfaces. Mm-hmm. And there may be something revealed this weekend that's entirely was created on a unique surface. But I can't.
Got to be in it to win it. The next image in the all-new Monte Moore Artist Celebration is this beautiful image, The Tempter.
Yeah, so this is another, well, they're all brand new, but it's fun for me because I get to see these debuts as well. And Brian and I have had many conversations about art over the years, and a lot of these drawings are done as commissions for the fans. And what's kind of neat is when they're art that you created for the fan, and you think that, well, that might be its only life. Right. But then when it goes on to really being a celebrated
published piece,
you know, it kind of takes it from here to here to say, well, it was published cover. And you bring in great colorists like Sanju and CC and so many different ones that you work with. And, you know, when I see it as the artist, I'm like, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's an amazing piece, and it is colored by Sanju Nivanjun. Really smart and elegant about the color choices. This will be available limited to 150 for $25 a piece. The holofoil at 60 copies, limited at $80 a piece, and the metal, limited to 50 at $110 a piece.
And I have been told many times, and I have seen pieces that were not done as elegant as this, that working over my highly rendered shaded pencils is quite the challenge.
I imagine.
And there is only about 2 or 3 colorists, Sanju obviously being one of them, and I've used him on some of my projects as well, because he and Ula and Cece are, you know, like 3 of the really sort of great ones who know how to handle a more challenging piece that's not line art.
You know, we're really lucky in the independent comics market to have these very dedicated, completely accomplished colorists.
Mm-hmm. And they often take work very much to the next level. And I think a lot of times people don't realize that in the beginning. I don't think colorists were celebrated as much. And now they're getting a lot more of their due, because you can, you know, some of these colors can really take a more simple line art piece and really just knock it out of the park.
I've always, since the beginning, particularly the new era, 90s, I always thought the colorist was a vast contributor. And I remember the big 2 would always just credit writer, pencil, inker. And I'm like, the colorist in this day and age could add so much life. But anyway, we agree.
Yeah, in the 90s it really, you know, and there's actually a lot smaller gap and need these days for inkers. There's a lot of people, I mean, Mike Crome is not only an amazing illustrator with pencils, but kind of master ink level, and he doesn't give his work to anybody else because it can then go right to beautiful colors.
That's right.
Yeah.
Next up on the Monte Moore Artist Celebration is this gorgeous edition called Reflection. This is available also, trade dress, holofoil limited to 60, gorgeous, look at that, unbelievable, and the metal limited edition. Monty, what could you tell us about this image?
I was just checking out all the little cool, there's kind of a little fun, I don't know, the graphic in the background is almost like an energy. It's super subtle. It's probably hard to see in the holofoil, but it's just very cool.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, just kind of over here on the edge.
Yeah, ever so slightly. I think she's sort of in a jungle clearing environment.
Gotcha.
Maybe some palm trees.
Yeah, and these, both these originals, the interesting part is they're that size.
Yeah.
The actual drawing, unlike this, which was a massive painting.
Yeah, I think
this big, but that drawing was done just like that, and is on a comic book somewhere,
right.
Not on a piece of paper.
Right. And this was originally commissioned, but the work was so fine, I thought it should be a published piece, and whoever is the commissioner, whether they know it or not, the value of their commission is increased 4 to 5-fold.
Yeah, suddenly through the roof. You might not be able to retire on it, but that was a good investment.
Yeah, I mean, it's now a published piece. Yeah, so this Reflection, and please take a look at the 3 main images. Mm-hmm. Now, out of the main images, we also, for fans of cards, are offering the limited edition trading cards.
I like how each has their own unique color palette.
Absolutely.
And so, rather than saying, oh, these are all kind of analogous, they look similar.
Yeah.
Right, they have their own unique flavor. The background on this one's really been knocked back so that they all make a nice set and it's not competing with the foreground. And I think that's a nice thing that sets the card apart.
Yeah, in fact, I mean, that was deliberate. The idea is to how will these all look together and how can they compare, contrast, and how can they offer some sort of difference. I mean, each time I think that, in a sense, the overall tone here is Lady Death finds herself enraptured, but she's in these different moods each time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes, you have the visually is more engaged with the viewer.
Yes.
And then there's other times, and this is probably something that I do maybe more often than I should, but I like that shared moment with the eyes closed. And my very first drawing that was ever published that was called Sunkissed, which is one of my mermaid drawings. And the head's back and the face is up to the sun and the eyes are closed. And you're not sure, you as the viewer, the idea is that you don't know if they know you're there. Right, so it's a little bit voyeuristic, but because it's a sensual moment.
Yes.
And that's I've always liked this sort of eyes down, eyes closed, because it's quiet, it's kind of pensive and it's sensual.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then clearly in this one, it's the opposite. Like she's presenting herself in a way, and
it's a come hither. It's more of the invitation look.
Yeah.
Like, hey, would you want to join me on this adventure in the pool? Whatever.
Yeah. I think that's true. Now we're also presenting these as cards, as mentioned, and then for print lovers, they're available as affordable 11 by 17 prints.
That's the go big, go home option right there.
Right. And again, these will be available with a signed option, myself and Monty, and a remark option. Believe it or not, a limited amount of color remarks and a limited edition amount of black and white inked remarks as well. Mm-hmm. Now look, I'm going to admit something to you. If you were here at HQ this weekend, there is an edition, but it could only be purchased at HQ. And here it is.
Oh, he is going to show it. I thought you weren't going to show it.
This is the official Knotfest edition.
Yeah, so the as we were mentioning earlier, I think this is probably, certainly for Coffin Comics and maybe others too, a piece of art actually taken from the Lady Death motorcycle Josh Grimsley project. We both live in Colorado, and so he asked me if I would be a part of that, and I said, I'll happily donate some art to be a part of that. And so this is, I believe it's right on the rear fender of the motorcycle, which was here at Swornfest last year, so lots of people got to see it.
So Josh Grimsley of the Coffin Garage expressed an interest in turning one of these into an edition. I spoke with you, spoke with Josh, and indeed it is going to occur. Very limited. I think these are limited to 35, this even less.
Is that a metal? Or
And that is a metal edition.
See, you need to have a metal edition when it comes from a motorcycle.
So true.
Right?
You absolutely have to.
And I will tell you, it is to publish something from that is a difficult challenge.
It was a challenge to get the scan.
Yes, because it is on a curved surface. So most of the time when you're shooting pictures of this stuff, which I painted 200 bikes probably in my day, you'd be like, this looks great. And you'd take a picture and it's just all warped, right? Because you just can't get a straight shot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to be at HQ. Now also completing this particular promotion online, we are continuing our rookie trading card series with the character Devil Lock, limited to 50, his 11x17 print, and his card. Now, the rookie card editions have been going on for some time now, and we are bringing to life the great majority of the cast of Coffin Comics, and this is number 19 in the series, and we are reproducing rookie cards as editions. And there's our boy Johnny Devlin, aka Devil Lock. And if you've seen the last of, you think you've seen the last of Devil Lock, you have not. In the Lady Death Cybernetic Desecration, and in August Imperial Requiem, Johnny plays a part. But the question is he good? Is he bad? Is he an ally to Lady Death, or now has he become an enemy? I don't know. We love working with Johnny. He's this great tragic character, so consider adding him to your rookie card collection.
And honestly, Diego Bernard, and for my money, especially for interiors and covers, probably one of the best working artists in comics today. Doesn't matter if it's indie or not. Like I see his interiors when you're showing things from the new campaign, and I'm just blown away. Like I'm like, whoa, okay, that's the bar. That's the new bar.
It is the bar. Yesterday I got in pages 28 and 29, which is a spread of chapter 18, and I communicated to Nick G, and I said, dude, I just get the feeling like we're making the coolest comics on earth right now. I mean, the stuff, what's fun about Diego and knowing the story too is I can't throw him a curveball. Like I try. I'm like, is this too much or, too over the top? And, he brings it back and he responds. It was so amazing to meet him finally in person. And although we don't share the same language, and although we are many thousand miles apart, the commonality was incredible. So it was actually a very, very soulful experience to meet Diego in person. And he's actually a young person. He's 35 years old, and
we're young at heart. We're just a little more gray. We're seasoned.
We are seasoned. We're pickled and we're seasoned.
This is year 30 for me in the industry, and Brian's a few years ahead of me.
Yeah, 32.
He started in 91, and I did my first published comic in 93.
Yes,
self-published, so been an indie since the very get-go. And I started as a colorist.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, man, some of us are just that hardcore indie. Well, folks, the preview is not over. What we'd love to do is we're now going to go to the Coffin Comics company store. We're going to show you a little bit of what people would see.
This is where we say walk this way.
Walk this way. So we're walking through the hallowed halls of HQ. And welcome to the Coffin Comics company store. Yeah, Jimmy Coffin, feel free to take a look all the way back.
Ooh, cookies.
So first thing you need to know is that a great majority of the Coffin Comics company store has been themed to the work of Monte Moore. Monte will be here this weekend, Saturday, 12 to 5 p.m., signing autographs, drinking, remarks, etc.
Or maybe drinking.
There's a good chance. Now,
and cookies.
And cookies. Now, we'll also be featuring the new Coffin Crafts from Moonshine Mel, including her custom cookies.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Coffin themed cookies. Not Fest cookies, whatever Not Fest is, we don't know. Now, I would like to point out to you some of the goodies that are available. If you please look at this beginning in this wall, there'll be an exclusive collector's box with the art of Monte Moore. There are some goodies from the past. These are statues that actually went on tour with us in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
And then the exclusives from Monte Moore will be on sale here live at HQ. But that's not all. We're actually going to start getting into pulling out some of the good stuff, all by Monte Moore and his vast contributions.
Our early one.
Number 3.
Yeah. I did part of that original art sitting in a hotel room in Scotland.
That's cool.
There's the
paint-
helmet we were talking about, where
Yeah.
the prelim was on wood.
And then, of course, the Dark Reaper, which is one of the most beloved images,
One of my all-time favorites, the version of that.
now being brought to life. And
Oh, yeah.
please, let's look over here. Actually, we'll get a close-up view of some of the great work that we're offering out of our archives. You will notice, and I could announce, that we have official remarks tied into the Monte Moore Artist Celebration.
That's not printed.
Correct.
That's painted on there, and every one of them is unique. Some are full figure, some are 3/4 figure, different colorations, all different poses. I don't like to draw the same thing over and over, so none of them are.
So each one of the exclusives, these are limited to 10, each unique, as Monty said.
They're hand painted. They're a combination of acrylics, markers, and airbrush.
And we'll have 10 available live for sale here
Only
at
10.
HQ. Only 10 exclusively here at HQ.
Okay, so that's an in-person.
It's in
Pickup.
person exclusive until Saturday
Okay.
at 5 p.m.
Okay.
At Saturday, 5:01 p.m., we will open it up to online.
Okay.
And that's what's up there. Now, please note.
Find a balance between offering the exclusives on site and then saying, "Hey, we don't want to leave everybody out."
Exactly.
Right.
Well, we also want to incentivize people to come see HQ, have this experience, enjoy. There may or may not be an unknown event happening simultaneously here.
Well, it's like Fight Club. There's just not a lot of talking about it, but it may or may not be happening.
That's right. But you are invited. And again, please feast your eyes on many of these images are by Monty.
There's another one of my brand newest favorites that's part of the new current Kickstarter, the tribute to Hachime Sorayama.
Exactly. Yeah, and this was from the Seasons in the Abyss series.
Yeah, I don't have any more of those.
Yeah, I'm down to it.
They went
I'm-
very quickly.
I'm down to it.
Ooh, that's a BP edition there.
Yeah, my BPs busting them out for this. I love this image. This is great. July
Yeah.
4th.
Yep, and that was with Greg.
Yes.
Yep.
Then this is the cool Sworn Fest edition
Yep.
from 22.
Mhm.
Sworn Fest 22. And let's also take a look at what's going on in the case.
Oh, what's in the case?
So we
The
have,
head?
we actually, it's kind of fun. We busted out some serious Coffin classics that date back all the way from 208 and 209.
Oh,
Yeah, I found some my APs and BPs from back in the day.
very cool.
Some more great work by Monte Moore.
That was another commission. That one went to one of the overseas collectors.
Yeah, and there's another look at some busting out some of the old BP APs.
And what year is that?
Oh,
roughly?
those date back. They're 08, 09, 10, 2010.
Oh, before really Coffin was it?
Well, it was Coffin, but it was that was just back then. Coffin was just me hitting the trail at cons.
Okay.
Doing exclusives at cons.
Okay.
That's
I guess I think of like Coffin, like really getting into the publishing more like 2014, like
Literally,
new
yeah.
content,
Correct.
and correct Kickstarters,
Yeah.
and all that. But like you said, you were already moving and shaking.
Oh, dude, I was out there in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Going out there,
Well,
making a living and learning the ropes again, and dealing with new technology like digital printing. That was new back then.
Yes, yeah, because we didn't have print on demand.
Nope.
It's a much different world than we started. Now you can say, I can make one of these, I can make 4 of these.
Yes.
And it's just, as a publisher, it's just very cool to have that option.
it's
and all the
super
materials.
cool. Yes.
Yeah,
right. All
just-
the enhancements.
Yep.
Well, folks, let's go back here. And again, this is the Coffin Comics shop. It will be open. Let's recap. Here we are. We're going to have the Monte Moore Artist Celebration beginning tomorrow at 9 a.m. AZ time for Sworn Fest members, 10 a.m. Arizona time for the rest of the globe. You could order online. The editions will be available signed or unsigned. You could choose to do official remarks by Monte Moore in full color and or black and white.
You're doing full color on books?
I believe that's what we're doing.
Okay.
That's what
I just have to give that some thought on what's the best way to make that stick. You never want to damage a book.
That's true.
Sometimes on a darker book and stuff too, like coming in and doing something like this with marker is trickier. So then you have to use like white paint and
true.
things like that to make it show up.
Yes, sir. And then Saturday, live at HQ, 630 East University Drive, Mesa, Arizona, 85203, the global headquarters of Coffin Comics. The one and only Monte Moore and yours truly will be here. enjoying ourselves and meeting you. So, without further ado, we would like to invite you on board. Anything you'd like to say in closing to the people? Monte Moore.
I don't think so. We covered a lot of it. What I like is that there's both the digital and the online offerings that people can say, hey, I'm getting that. I'm ready tomorrow. You've been given the time. You've seen the products. You know what you want to get. Make your list. Get ready. And then for those who are physically able to come by, hang out, participate, it's kind of like Fight Club, but but kind of a fest.
That's right. It's not a fest. That's what we're going to leave you with. You guys have been great. You've been
here.
And I've been Brian Pulido. We've been present. Come on out and see us, folks. Have a great week. Have a great time. And come on out and hang. Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Brian Pulido, creator of Lady Death, and we are back to unleash the most mind-altering chapter of Lady Death's undead life. An all-new 48-page original graphic novel entitled Lady Death, Cybernetic Desecration.
The story begins, Evilverse Unleashed, a company-wide theme overtaking the Coffinverse in 2023.
Our Lady Death is thrust into an alternative dystopian future Earth where her evil persona Empress Death has nearly extinguished the human race. Now Empress Death's mission is to murder the last 999 souls on Earth and finally achieve Megadeath, the death of all life on Earth. Can Lady Death, weaponless and alone, navigate this nightmare and defeat the most evil foe she has ever faced and return to her timeline unscathed? Lady Death's reality will be upended as she meets allies who are now enemies, enemies who are now allies, in the most mind-bending Lady Death story to date. Are you ready for this? Guest starring Commander Xander, Madam Midnight, Kid Devil, The Trust, and many, many more. Helping me bring this latest chapter to life is our returning team. Co-writer Mike McLean, illustrator Diego Bernard, colorist CC De La Cruz, and veteran letterer Marshall Dillon. And look, here's the thing. This project is done. We just gotta print. But I need your help because let's be honest, without you, we are nothing. Please pledge now and tell everyone you know that Lady Death is back. Thank you so much, everybody. You rule.